Welcome everyone to the raw and uncut version of the SellOutShow today. So we're kicking this particular one off with show us your mug. We want to know what mug it is that you're using at home. I have home is where the dog is. But then what's really fun is Shawn's mug is perfect for our topic today.
It's in reverse, but I think you can read it.
I can read it. So we want you to show us your mug. Put it in the comments below.
Yeah. And then you also have to watch the entire episode.
Well, of course.
Because this is about ending a bad marriage with your job or a bad marriage with a client. How do you know and how do you fire a client? Ugh. All right. So keep watching the whole raw and uncut version. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Welcome everyone to the SellOutShow, where we are always sold out. I am Dianne and I am a co-founder of Trade Show Makeover, where we help you stop leaving money on the trade show floor.
Hey Diane, hey everyone. I'm Shawn Carroll Sandy. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer of the Selling Agency, where we coach humans how to sell to other humans. Because if you're selling to someone, like you're not really in love with them and you just sort of take anyone as, a lover, it's going to end in a bad marriage, and you're going to end up divorced, and the children are going to have to go see therapists. You're going to fight over the dog. I'm telling you, it's just not a good thing.
You will fight over the dog.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen.
Like there's like movies made out of that, I think.
It's crazy. So yeah, so sell to humans. Sell like a human to another human, or else all those horrible things will happen to you.
And love them. But you need to love the humans that you're selling to. Seriously. Yeah. Yes. So, because that brings up our topic today.
Yes.
Which is what happens when you're not in love with your clients or customers. When do you fire them, and why should you fire them? This is hard for people. This is really hard. Really hard.
Well, as salespeople, and business owners, we just want to be everything to everyone. And we believe that all revenue is good revenue. And I think what we're going to demonstrate today, Shawn, is that actually not all revenue is good revenue. And those clients that are clogging up your happiness are probably preventing you from having the business and the sales funnel and the revenue that you really deserve. Yeah.
So I know I've had a couple defining moments with when I realized that the money was not worth it. Tell me about one of yours where you realized, like, I gotta fire this asshole. Like, tell me about one of your moments, Diana.
Well, for me, the biggest, most painful, awful one, which is always the one that is probably the best one for you, is losing a job.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd always been a top salesperson everywhere I went. And I went to this sales gig that was a horrible fit for me. Just a horrible sales culture fit. And so obviously a bad fit for them too. There's two sides to every story. Mm-hmm. But I think the best thing in the whole world was I wanted to start my own business. And I just couldn't figure out how to get out of the heroin drip of a paycheck. So, just like everything always works out for me, I left a really great job to go to this one because I thought it was going to be better. It was horrible. And all of a sudden I found myself as a business owner.
That's so funny because I wasn't even going to talk about that, but that's what forced me into the start date. I knew that I wanted to build the selling agency, and I had been working on it, but I didn't know exactly what my exit day was. February 19th, 2012 was circled on the calendar, best day ever. And it wasn't even me who circled it. It was my senior CSR who knew what I was doing. She was so supportive in my dream and my hustle, and the regional muckety asshole had come into town and just shit on me. It was so unbelievably, like, it was just the best day ever. It was the best day ever. I was like, yep. So I marked a calendar, said, come July, I'm going to be out. And that was it. It helped me it helped me, force that issue. But even as in the agency and then previously in sales, there have been some times where you're just like, fudge it. This client is not worth it. You come to that determination that it really is like a bad marriage, don't you think? Like you're working so hard,
yeah.
Nothing is easy. You're not communicating. You're not speaking the same love language. Ugh.
Your profit margins are low.
Yeah. It's so funny. Every time I have zigged from my zag or gone and said, you know what, this is not exactly what we do, or this person isn't exactly who I love, but this looks like a great opportunity, I have regretted it every single time.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Well, and see, but there's a big difference in my story and your story happens to be better. But there's a moral to the story, and now that you can see, both Goofus and Gus right here dealing with this, if you get that reference, that's awesome. Or Goofus and Gallant.
Goofus and Gallant, yeah, from Highlights. Oh God, Highlights. They still make that magazine, by the way.
It's so good, but I should have been the one to pop myself out, and I knew it. And you did pop yourself out. And why that's important is because the goodies that come afterwards, because they're coming either way.
Mm-hmm.
You get popped out of bad situations for your own good.
Yeah.
But the goodies that come later come faster if you pop yourself out first, as opposed to having to deal with the feeling of being kicked in the face for, 24 months or however long you allow yourself to wallow in it, right?
Well, and what's really funny is that we're talking about love and marriage and stuff like that. My agreement with my husband was, because we support each other in our endeavors. He went to optometry school. I worked at a goddamn grocery store and went to college at night. That was, love and not sacrifice, compromise, maybe. I don't know what you call that. That was horrible.
Just making it work is what that was.
So, and then, he had his business and then I had my business. And so we've always supported each other. So our agreement was, hey, I'll leave a good paying job and all the benefits, because he's self-employed, and all the benefits and stuff behind once I replaced my income. So I had to do my day job and then side hustle and get clients for a fledgling new business that replaced
and 2 children.
Oh yeah, we had 2 kids, by the way. So there was that side hustle, but that's where that love of my CSR came. She knew that was my dream, my vision. She really helped make it possible so that I could have a side hustle. And I hope my boss isn't listening. Sorry, Tico. But
we have 2.2 million subscribers. I bet they are.
I know, right? But what was funny was, so I got clients, I replaced my income, I jumped off, and about a month and a half into this new venture with these new clients, I knew they were not the right clients.
Uh-oh.
And I fired them after 3 months.
Good.
But I'm like, well, crap. So I had to start pipelining other other clients and more business. And when you're new in a business, that was really hard. But
yeah,
it wasn't the right fit. It was too early for them to build sales process. It was too early. That was actually a very good lesson for me to never work with startups. Not that you shouldn't work with startups, but I don't work with startups because they don't know who they are yet. And so much of what I believe your business development strategy, your go-to-market strategy needs to have your brand soul in it, your personal gravity in it. They didn't have any yet. So they didn't know how to sell. So that's why that didn't work. But that leads to the conversation that you are who you attract. Your business gravity should be out there so that you're attracting people who love working with you. That's when we get in those situations.
Well, so let's apply this to boots on the ground, phone in the hand, salespeople, right? Because, this is true for business owners too, but so there's a couple things that are right there for me. The 3, one is, are you in the right sales gig? And if you're not, don't be worried. There's lots of opportunities for really awesome salespeople. So, and it's easier to find a sales job when you've already got one. The second thing is, and I think we should really dig in on this because I think it's been really powerful, but when you've got your pipeline, if you've got I used to call them blockers in my pipeline, you got to sniff those suckers out and pop them out, and everything else starts to flow. It's the craziest thing. But then that other thing about attracting, you know, I think about some of the sales development reps that we've had on this show, like Jeremy and Reed and Jackie and Thomas, and they have their own magnetic qualities that I'm sure are very attractive to the right customers. So, I mean, which one do you want to talk about? They're all so juicy.
Well, I love that loosening up your pipeline, because I run into, especially, I work with a lot of account executives. You probably could see this with SDRs too, account executives, business owners, but they're trying to shove an elephant down their pipeline. And that really is blocking everything else. And, you know, our dear friend, Barbara Weaver Smith, she teaches people how to go big whale hunting. Well, one of the things I know is that if you're a tuna cannery and you're all of a sudden like, oh, we got a whale in, let's process it. You're not set up to process a whale if you're catching tuna. There's nothing wrong with tuna. So if you're not catching the right fish in your pipeline, trying to process something that doesn't fit, it will get stuck. You behave differently. You're selling differently. You're out of your zone of genius, and then everything else goes out of whack. That's how I feel. I know that I've done it. So guilty of doing it.
Well, you get so fixated on, oh my God, I could land this deal, and then it becomes all that you obsess about. And the more you obsess about it, the more you get doubts about it because it's not working, right?
Right. Well, it's like twisting yourself into knots for someone else. You know, you're so infatuated with someone else. Everyone's done this. Like, you're so infatuated with someone else, and there's maybe a little spark of chemistry, but you know they're not right for you. And your friends are like, who are you? You don't wear red lipstick. You don't wear flats. I don't care if he's shorter than you. You know, like, your friends you need your friends, your mentors, your coaches to be like, snap out of it. He's not the man for you. She's not the girl for you. You're not acting right.
Well, and it's not the deal for you. And if you just let them go to the ocean, there's a couple things that are going to happen. First of all, they'll probably stay, sign up. But the second one is, even if they don't, when you release them, it allows all of the other stuff to flow through. And I don't know why that works or how that works, but it is reliable that when you get the junk out of your pipeline, and it's scary, right? Because you want to have as many opportunities as possible, especially the ones that you're like sort of fixated on. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's getting it out of your pipeline. But if you've got a cancerous, toxic customer, I know this sounds hard. You're relying on that income.
Yeah.
Like an abusive relationship, you've got to find an exit strategy, because they're sucking up your more time, more energy. Oftentimes they have the most problems. Oftentimes they're the worst margins, and you gotta shit can them. And to do that, the other thing too, I think is really, we don't talk about this, but they take up so much mental headspace. They take up
really do.
Emotional, mental space in your head and in your heart. If you have, here's how you can tell. You tell me if you've ever had one like this. If you have a client that their bullshit and their issues come to the dinner table with you, or you think about them before you go to bed, or you think about them when you get up in the morning, and not in good ways, you gotta shit can them out of your life.
Yeah, if you feel dread every time you need to interact with these people or do work on their behalf, I just don't think that's what we're here for. No. You know, we're not here in life to be that miserable. And I don't think, what is it? No story has a happy ending where all the parts of the story were sad and horrible. Yeah. I didn't say that as well as I could, but if every element of dealing with these people is bad, it's not going to have a happy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're the one who ends it first, you'll be much happier.
Right. And I know it sounds like a luxury to be able to get rid of nasty, awful, terrible clients, but the more love you put out there, the more love you put into your sales process, and the more care, the more personality, you're going to attract people who find that appealing. that's the ultimate safety. We talk about this a lot. We're still really primitive creatures, and our first and foremost survival function is to feel safe.
Yeah.
And when we recognize someone who's like us, when we recognize someone who shares values that we do, shares sense of humor, shares work ethic, those things make us feel safe. And then we will be more likely to do business with that person and love you.
Well, and also think about all the hustle that these guys are sucking out of you.
Yeah.
If you're like going after a client that's never going to land, or you're not kicking somebody out of your business that is sucking up all your air, there's a whole bunch of hustle that if you're putting all that energy and love towards your hustle, your business would be going nuts. So but you got to get your hustle back.
Yes. Yeah. If you're trying to make the wrong customer love you, you're not spending the energy well.
Oh my God, we're so brilliant.
So here's what I would like for you to do. If you're watching this and you recognize yourself here in this situation, and you recognize a toxic or cancerous client or customer, get a hold of us. Like, message us, send a message below. We're not hard to find. We're doing LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. Let Diana and I help you. I'm offering for free to give someone this advice or to counsel you through this process.
And if you're in the wrong sales gig, we got a resource for you who is always looking for top talent, but if you're not looking, they might not be finding you. So you should get a hold of us, because we have some options for you.
Yeah. Let's help you get divorced from a bad client relationship or a bad product, bad company, or whatever. We have a new rep, Diana. We're a divorce specialist. Let's help you find love again.
Yes, we want you to live long and prosper.
Oh, I think that's a good note to end on.
All right, so stop hoping.
Oh, and start loving and selling.
That's right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.